In this video, we're riding the Tallahassee-St. Mark's Historic Railroad State Trail. Troy and Andrea here, and we are on the Tallahassee-St. Mark's Historic Railroad State Trail. And we've never ridden this trail before, so we are super excited to explore it today, share the adventure with you, and maybe inspire you to make your own adventure.
So our YouTube channel is all about our little adventures. We absolutely love to travel around different places.
We're foodies, and we love to explore all the things to do in the area around us.
Especially if we get to ride our bicycles. So if you like things like that, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button on there, or if you just want to follow our adventures, we'd love to have you come along. So let's go check out St. Mark's Trail.
So here we are, our first stop. We've only been riding 2 miles, but we saw the sign for the Shack Coffee Boutique. And I had to stop because I saw it on Facebook. It came up when I was searching the area. And Troy loves coffee, so here we are, we stopped. I'm actually not a fan of coffee. And I told the owners, Justin and Jamie, that they fixed me up with the St. Mark's Snickerdoodle. It's an iced latte. It was delicious. I could taste the coffee flavor. It was a little strong, but the flavors of the gingerbread and the cinnamon came through, and it was delicious. Troy had an espresso. How was
yeah,
it?
It was excellent.
This little coffee boutique, you know, you'd expect to, you know, come in and pay some fancy prices, but it was, we paid hardly anything. I don't know how I could even make those at home for the price he charged us. And it was great. And this little, it's got a little gift shop down here that we're not check it out right now, but we'll come back a little later on the way back and check it out. So as you're riding this trail, there are actually 3 areas where you can go off this trail and find some other adventures. One is the San Marcos de Apalache Historic State Park. That's closer to the St. Mark's area where we just came from. The second is further up the road. It's going to be the Munson Hills Off-Road Trail. If you got a mountain bike, that'd be a great place to ride there. And then the third is right here where we're at, the Wakulla Springs State Park. You can go off and go down to the springs. There's lots to see and do there. But this is a great park. If you're doing your adventure with children, there's a playground here. There are picnic tables, full-size bathrooms, and it's a great place to stop. The Tallahassee-St. Mark's Trail is a rail trail, and it follows along the path of the old Tallahassee Railroad. The Tallahassee Railroad is not only Florida's oldest railroad and longest operating railroad, it is also the first railroad to ever receive a congressional land grant. So back in the day, Tallahassee, the surrounding area, and pushing up north into Georgia was an area known as the Plantation Belt. They grew some tobacco, but mostly cotton. At the end of the season, they would bale it up and send it to Tallahassee. The problem was they needed to get it from Tallahassee down to the Gulf of Mexico so that it could be shipped out. The Tallahassee Railroad began in the 1830s as a way to solve the problem of getting those cotton bales out of Tallahassee and down to St. Mark's to the port on the Gulf of Mexico. Now, Florida did not become a state until 1845, so when the railroad began, Florida was only a U.S. territory. Now, the really interesting thing is the steam locomotive didn't come along for a few years, so the original cargo was pulled by mule-drawn carriages.
That's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister. All right, so we just stopped, made us a little pit stop for lunch. The original plan, there's a place we found out about last night called Savannah's Country Buffet. We had intentions of finding that and stopping there, but by the time we realized we had passed it by at least 3 miles, we looked on the map and there was a place called Randy's. So we stopped in there, got us something to eat, some burgers and salad and fries, and now we're back on our way.
Well, I'll tell you, Andrea and I have had a blast on the St. Mark's Trail. You know, this is Florida's very first designated rail trail, their first all-paved rail trail. And we were a little confused at first about how long the trail is, because as you go on the TrailLink app and the All Trails app, it has varying lengths. If you go on the website, it says 16 miles. If you go on the trail link, it says 20 miles. And so, what is it? And we couldn't quite figure it out until we got to the, what's it called? The
Capitol Circle Trailhead.
Okay, the Capitol Circle Trailhead, which is right down here. And we went past Capitol City Circle, is that what it is? The parkway that goes through. And as you've seen in some of the video, the trail changes. It looks different. And so it's definitely a different feel, a different look, a different everything, especially when it comes to noise and traffic. A lot more crossings where you have to go across the roads and everything else. So here's what I think we figured out. It's 16 miles from the Capitol City Trailhead to St. Mark's, and then there's an extension from that point all the way up to just within about a block of the what's that other university?
Florida State University. Yeah. That other university in the state of Florida.
Andrea's a Gator, and so I was wondering if she'd even be able to say the words, but only about a block from the football stadium there, from what I understand. So you can ride an extra 5 miles on this trail, starting way back up in the city in Tallahassee, coming down to this trailhead, and then all the way down to St. Mark's. And man, what a beautiful trail. And so we've just done 20 miles.
Yeah.
We've turned around, That means we got 20 miles to go back.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Well, it has been an absolutely gorgeous day. We have had so much fun.
Yeah.
In fact, the whole time, I think Andrea has smiled. I think her cheeks are starting to get a little bit wore out because she has smiled the whole time because we're just having fun. We're doing what we love to do, be out on our bikes and get to do something like this. We were just talking, it's been almost a year since we started doing this. And it's been a lot of fun. I don't think we're newbies anymore because now we have a few trails under our belt. And we kind of know what to look for, and this trail is quickly becoming one of our favorite trails. So we left St. Mark's this morning, went all the way up to the Tallahassee city area. I don't know if we made it into the city limits or not. And now we're back at Wakulla Park. And what do you think so far?
It's a beautiful trail. It's great. It's an easy trail. Anyone can do it. And, you know, we've passed a lot of walkers, joggers. We've seen a lot of dogs.
Yeah, a lot of people using the trail.
Yeah, rollerblading, kids, adults of all ages. So it's been great to see a lot of people using the trail. It is beautiful, and this is, I mean, trails like this are the reasons why this has become one of our favorite pastimes and things to do together. So
yeah, we never dreamed that this would happen. We started going out and riding the trail near our house and took a camera with us. And that has evolved into now a YouTube channel.
Yeah. And
many of these trails, and we look forward to this. This is one we've been wanting to do for a while, and wow, it's been worth the wait.
It has been.
And so we hope, you know, that you're enjoying riding along with us. We know that some of you don't ride, but we hope, you know, I mean, we're over 50 and we're out here doing this, and we hope that it inspires you to get out and to, you know, just get outside and smell the fresh air and just get a little bit of exercise, and it makes you feel so good. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been smiling so much today.
Oh yeah, and what's really exciting for me, from this point, we're at 30-something miles right now that we've put in today, and I'm equal to the most I've ever ridden. So from this point, going back to St. Mark's, I'm going to be over the top. This will be a new record for me. So I'm really excited about that. Well, we did it! 40 miles. We started out on the southern end of the trail down here in the coastal city of St. Mark's, and we headed north to Tallahassee. We completed the 16 miles of the Historic Railroad State Trail. We then continued on following one of the extensions that goes up into Tallahassee. We didn't do the entire 5 miles of that extension, but we did check it out. And then we turned around and came all the way back to St. Mark's. It is a beautiful trail. We had the most perfect weather for a beautiful spring day. We hope that this video has inspired you to want to ride this trail. And if so, here are some things that you can expect. First of all, it's an easy, flat ride with very little elevation change. Florida State Parks does an excellent job of maintaining the lower 16 miles. It's clean, safe, and it's beautifully lined with trees, providing lots of shade and dappled sunlight. Along the way, you'll find lots of benches and some picnic tables, as well as places to refill your water bottle. Along the pathway are several bathrooms, and you'll also encounter a few parks with full-service, better bathrooms. My only disappointment was the lack of consistent mile markers. There were some, but there were also stretches where I had no idea where I was. In regard to restaurants, we recommend that you know where you want to eat ahead of time if you're looking to stop at a restaurant. And you want to know what the crossroads are, because the main highway is a block or two over, and we had a restaurant picked out. We were expecting to find it along the trail, but the trail was tree lined. We never saw the restaurant, and it turns out it was a block or two over on the main highway. So by the time we figured that out, we were 3 miles past where we needed to be. And we ended up at another restaurant, but again, we had to get off the path, go over a couple of miles. So if you know where they are ahead of time, know the crossroads to look at on the trail, and then just book on over there.
Yeah, and you're also going to find plenty of places like Circle K's and the dollar stores and things like that where you can get snacks or get water and things like that. So just look on the map so you know exactly where you need to go in those crossing streets, and you'll be able to get to them real easy. We also found ample parking at both ends of the trail at the trailheads, and then we even saw a few different places you could park in between during the ride. So you could park and do the entire trail and back, or in between and different distances.
If you're planning a trip to come ride this rail trail, there are definitely some things you want to keep in mind in regard to the seasons here in Florida. Now, our longest season is hurricane season. It runs from June until November, and although the beginning part in June and July, not a lot of activity, but once you hit August, and especially going on through into October, it may be a little bit more problematic. So you definitely don't want to plan a trip 6 months in advance to come in October. You want to kind of hang loose and maybe do a last minute trip during that period of time. I don't know how the fall leaves are. I would love to find that out in the fall. If you've ever been, please drop a comment below. Let us know if there's some fall leaves to see on this trail. As you go into winter, we thought once we were at a hurricane season, we would be able to come run over here and ride this trail. It is Florida, so we have some beautiful 70-degree days in the middle of winter. But what happened was every time we checked the weather, there was like 17 to 25 mile an hour winds that day with gusts up to 35 miles an hour. So it's super windy during that time of year is what we found the last couple months trying to plan. Springtime is beautiful. We're here at the beginning of spring. It was absolutely gorgeous. But if you're an allergy sufferer like myself, you definitely want to refill those meds and stock up on the tissues, because these allergies tore me up and spit me out. Then once you get into the summer months, it is Florida, so it's going to be a little hot and muggy, and that means bugs. So make sure you pack the repellent. But no matter what time of year you choose, this is going to be a beautiful trail. We hope that these tips have helped you plan accordingly.
Well, we sure hope you've enjoyed being with Andrea and myself on another one of our little adventures. We have thoroughly enjoyed being here in the St. Mark's area and riding the St. Mark's Trail. We'll see you in the next video.